Hi, I am Sherry SIEWERT, and I'm going to do a video on making molds from polymer clay molds that I took from these brass dies. You can do polymer clay molds with brass dies, metal clay pieces that you've created. You can use them in objects like seashells, starfish. So here's a little seashell. You can't see it there. Little seashell. So any of these could be used to make silicone mold. So my information, if you want to contact me, and if you want to get a copy of this video, I'm going to be posting it on that channel from my website. That is serendipitycorner.com. You can also text me at 815-2443. Let me put my website on here. serendipitycorner.com. My phone is 804-615-2443. I look forward to hearing from you and getting some feedback on my video. So I'm going to leave that for just a second. Now, lubricant. I'm going to be using Cool Tools because I use this, and I also use Liberation Spray. Liberation Spray out of Madison, North Carolina, and then the Cool Tools I get from cooltools.us. Both of these I use. I can also use olive oil, or you can use Badger Balm. What I would do with my pull slip is I'm going to put it in this little container. That much. I'm just going to like dip it on a brush and then put it on there. I'll show that to you in a few minutes. But that's what I'm going to use to cover, lubricate my items. Destroy them by putting them into the silicone plastique. The other problem is if you put these in and they do not, then they're going to stick to the silicone plastique. So you want to make sure you lubricate with something before you put them in your mold. Okay, this is silicone plastique that I got from my and there's you need to follow the instructions on mixing these. You want equal parts of it. You mix it together, and that's how you will put together your combination of your silicone mold. Now, it's a 1-to-1 volume by weight. So if you let's say you pinch off this much here, right here, of part A. You want part B to equal the same amount before you mix them together. Now, with the silicone plastique, the work time, the demold time is 1 hour, and then the hardness is 45. Contact, keep out of reach of children, and do not put this down your drain, because if it cures, it in your drain, it will get stuck in your drain, and then you'll have problems with your plumbing system. This is what that means is whatever you mold with it, if you're molding for food to use it on cakes or candies or what have you, this is food. And you want to use this on food and then turn around and use it. Well, let me back that up. You making your mold for jewelry design or any other type of design that is not food safe. Keep your food safe molds separate from any other kind of molds. I just need to add that in there because I don't want anybody. So here's a written list just to put up here. Silicone plastic, part A, part B. My polymer clay molds were made with, I use Fimo because I've tried using Sculpey 2 polymer clay, and so the Fimo is good, and so I like using that. So I recommend the Fimo for doing your polymer clay. But I didn't have that on hand. I did have Fimo, and that baked up pretty well, and it's not breakable. So polymer clay, you have done. If you're doing metal clay, you can use these to cast your designs. That I want to do a bunch of these for Halloween. It's coming up, and I want to do some cross-sided cross here that I want to reproduce. I have a nice little starfish. Anyway, so that's where we could work with found objects or metal clay projects or brass dies put into polymer clay and baked. So I'm going to go ahead and do those first. So throw that on us. These. I'm just going to take my brush here and I'm going to towel. Let me grab a paper towel real quick. I'm going to do this one also. I need some crabs. I have the crab carnival coming up, so I need some crabs. I also grabbed gloves and my paper towels. Um, using gloves for your plastic. Also, using gloves helps to keep your fingerprints from getting on your molds. So I grabbed that also. I'm going to go ahead and put my gloves on. And now I'm going to take a little bit. I don't need a lot. I'm just going to, I don't want it dripping. I'm going to also take a paper towel. Set this down for a minute. Because these brass dies inside. So I'm just going to clean them real. Not going to really get all of it out, but just enough to make me feel better. Okay. I'm going to do the little crab first. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm dipping around in here. You can see the little bubbles there on the brush. Okay, so I've got those prepared. Also, I'm going to go ahead and prepare my other pieces that I want to do molds of. This tree here. This leaf. I'm not going to videotape this for all of my projects. I have quite a few sitting here. I'm only going to do this for a few of them. Just so you see what I'm doing. Now, this particular one, I know I'm not going to pick up the spooky written in here. It's just the piece that I'm going to get the mold of. The spooky was done with vitreous paint. This is glass inside of here that I fused with vitreous paint on it for glass. And then before I fired it, I scraped out with a scribe the word spooky, so that I could have the words on there afterwards. So now that I have lubricated, I'm going to take my plastic And I'm going to finish up this one that I have here in the container. Part A and part B. I really tore up this container when I first got it. Part B. So there's a little bit here that I have enough working time, I think, to use all that's in this container. And I'm going to save the container so that I can take some of this home. So I have equal parts here. I'm pretty sure this is equal parts. And I'm just going to mash it together. Squish it together. And take a roller and squish more if you want. My hands get tired and they kind of get stiff as I'm working, so I have to play around with some other tools to get this all mixed together. I like to spread it out and roll it and play with it a little bit, just like you do with clay. It helps to mix it up good. I got enough here to play with. Ah. So you're probably wondering, why did she do that? Well, because I want several different bowls. Depends on how much thickness I want here. So I'm just doing little balls. I could probably use a couple of little ones here. I'm pretty sure I can. Like I said, I'm not going to show you everything that I'm doing here. I'm going to show you all the different steps, but I have quite a bit more over here that I plan to do. So I got plenty of time to use this molding compound. to do it. Now I'm going to take my gloves off since I've done all of that. I'm just going to do these over here. And I'm going to take my little roller, and I have some slats here that I want to roll this, and I'm going to put some lubricant. I'm going to spray lubricant on here on my roller, just like you would do for any other kind of clay. And I'm just going to roll this out because I want it nice and smooth and rounded. There we go. I'm going to take my, let's take my little spooky here. Actually, no, let's take my little crab here. Actually, I've got too much. I'm going to do the crab. So, and actually, I don't need a lot for the crab. So let's do this around here. Now, using this for the mold of the crab, this is actually going to be the invert of this. Like you can see this here. When I do this with this plastique, it's just going to be what's the inversion of the die. So now this would be suitable for stamping my clay. I'm just going to go ahead and set that over there. So that's doing an inversion. Now I'm going to take this piece here. Actually, I'm going to take this piece here. And I'm going to roll it. I think I've got enough right here. I did not do this one, but I'm going to put it on here. The brush is still kind of wet. So now, this is a piece of polymer clay. This here's a piece of polymer clay, and it's already inverted. It's a small really. I'm going to put it here and press it in. Oh, I need more. Let's take it down this far. And then press this down. And now I'm going to move this over here to the side so it can harden. That's my polymer clay piece. Now, let's see, I want to do this guy. So, well, no, we're going to do this polymer clay piece because I did do this one. And now I'm going to take my polymer clay piece. I had done the lubrication already. So I'm just going to press that in there. And, I don't know, can I cut this out with that? No. So I'm going to cut this down because I don't need that big of a piece of molding. So I'm just going to take that out. And then I'm going to take this piece and move it over to the side. So that one's ready. So now I've still got these pieces of molding over here. I'm going to add 2 pieces together. I may need more. I'm just going to roll it together. And then I'm going to do my rolling again. And I'm just going to roll this out. Okay. So I'm going to do my spooky here. I'm just going to press him down in there. And then I'm going to cut off the extra. And then I'm going to slide. You can, if you've got your thickness the way you need it to be, you can push up on your mold to make sure that the mold is getting that side of your piece in there, just like that. Set that one over to the side. Now, I want to do this cross here. So it's pretty big, so I'm just going to do it like this, and I'm going to roll it in. And I'm going to take some of that off of there. Now, I can't do both sides at one time, so this one's going to have to sit over there for a little bit on the side. And then I'll flip it over. So let's see. My next one is going to be the starfish. So I'm going to do for the starfish. Let's see. Isn't it too big? Yeah. No, that's not a good one. Anyway, because I like to have a lot of cushion, I roll these out a little bit more. First, let's see. Okay, need to do you a little bit more. That's probably going to be perfect. I don't know if I want that side or this side. Let's see. I could get I'm going to get that side. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to turn it over. I'm just going to press it down. So why did I do it that way? Because I want to make sure I don't get my fingerprints inside, and I want to make sure that I'm getting the whole form of my starfish. So I don't care about fingerprints on the outside. Do you have any of these kind of clay shapers? That also helps for getting your form. That guy is going to sit there for a little while. And I'm going to work on these others. So here we have the ones that I did with metal clay. The brass. The polymer clay. So there we have it. That's how you can do your molds with the silicone plastique. Now, I have all these over here to do. So I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for sitting in and watching my video.